Welcome to a supernova episode of Ndine Thaza, the only entrepreneurship TV reality game show in Zimbabwe. Another exciting episode where we meet our fourth entrepreneur of the season, a young lady who's doing amazing in terms of starting and running her own business. Remember, the secret to starting a business is just start. Today we're back in the food industry, baking and pastries by Fortunate Mandizvidza. And the exciting part is we're not in the capital. Today we're back again in skies, Bulawayo. Let's check out Fortunate.
My name is Fortunate Mandizvidza. I'm 29, single mother of one. I was born in Chiredzi and raised there for part of my life until I moved to Harare. Where I also then finished my school. I learned at S03E5 Primary, Shununguko High School, and Nyongoni Adventist High for my A-level. So in 2012, that's when my business was, I can say, officially birthed, because that's when I decided to start and try here and there because I was still new in Bulawayo. So I decided to start acquiring my baking tins, and trying to work from the circle where I was working. I was working in a hotel, so I started there actually, telling my colleagues that I do cakes, and that's how I started making some cakes. But then it was not really that much like big or anything or something that I can write home about, but because it's something that I'm passionate about. I love cooking, I love baking, so I just had to start somewhere. I had to do something. As I started, that's the time when social media was on the rap and all, so I had to then start to engage a bit. I had Facebook, try and also utilize that, and I'd also joined a couple of networking businesses, so I just advertise and tell people I do A, B, C, D. Yeah, I'm grateful that it worked out, and I've got some clients who actually have grown with me from that period of time when I did cakes, which I'm like, no, and I still have those clients till today. So I got to a point where I didn't have like formal paper work or anything, and there I was, a single mom, and then it was a bit of a challenge. But then I figured there's something that I'm passionate about, so why not bring it up? Why not do it? So then this is when now I had to really give it my all, put full force into it. Then it was hard because it was breaking into a new market, which it's not like in a place that you grew up in, nothing. But with perseverance, I'm grateful that this is where I am today. And it's been quite a journey. So as a company, we basically deal with cakes and snacks. So we've got quite a variety of those, be it the flavors or the types that we can have, both on the cakes and the snacks. And we literally service everybody, because we service weddings, birthdays, like individuals, corporates, either big or small. Part of our services as well include delivery. Like you'd find instances, we have people in the diaspora who are ordering cakes for their relatives, friends, and all in Bulawayo. So then they're not here, and they would want the cake, maybe it's a surprise. So this is where we come in, we offer the delivery services. We also have a line that we started for in regards to the snacks, the frozen line, where you discover somebody does not like the dirty work. They don't want to do the mixing, they don't want to do the what. So we do the mixing, we do everything. A person can just simply buy a pie that's frozen, they just bake. They buy samosas that are frozen, they just fry and eat. That's just it. So that's another section that we recently added to our line of products, because we realized there's that gap. And also, we actually have interesting flavors that are not so common. You'll discover maybe we've got a beef cheese pie or a beef samosa pie. Sometime last year, as I'm passionate, I've gone to school. I did food and nutrition. I was taught. I was telling you about that family friend. I went to her, I learned. So with that same passion, and I have a motto that I work with. when I started this academy. It's called #Empowering Giants, because at the end of the day, I look at myself. If I didn't go to school and learn that food and nutrition, probably that's where it all got triggered when I was in Form 1, and I'm learning all this 2, 3, 4. I even did food science at A level because there was that thing about food in me. So to date, we've trained about over 80 people, including children, because we've had a kids class during the holiday. First things first, with regarding to challenges, it's the economic side, which has literally hit every sector. You get to discover sales can be high at any moment, and when anything happens in our economic environment, that brings a nosedive to a couple of things, because it also brings about even the shifting and changing and adjusting even in clients. So the other thing as well that you might discover is you might not maybe probably have enough exposure, and you might not have that reach that you have. It's one of the challenges that we've had where you don't really get to reach. So yeah, basically those are the kind of challenges that you would find, and especially also currency-wise. It would be so difficult, and you kind of not understand how best you can work. But then is when things, when the dust settles, you then eventually figure out, okay, we can work like this and try and accommodate, adjust to what's going on around us. And yeah, so that's basically how we've at least tried to alleviate some of these challenges that we face.
From what Fortunate loves, she has a business. You can have yours. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to be given a sense of direction in terms of how to run and manage our own businesses, the business compass, and of course, what we love most, the SWOT analysis from Fortunate, our entrepreneur for today. See you after the break. We are back. Did you enjoy a cake or a pie or a samosa? Fortunate is your businesswoman. She's your entrepreneur for those snacks during these breaks. We are now going to be given a sense of direction, and we'll hear from our expert in our business compass.
Okay, so sometimes if you really look at it, entrepreneurship can be quite a lonely journey. So by offering a co-working space, you get to be with like-minded, your peers, like fellow entrepreneurs. You can be bouncing off ideas. You can even get assistance. So for example, you want to quote an investor, we take you through like how do you prepare a pitch, what do you need, and also link you up with investors whom we work with. So I think you get access to ideas, information, opportunities, and it's also just a platform for you to grow. When you're going to meet an investor, you have to have all your ducks in a row. You have to be organized. But then we understand the entrepreneurial challenges. So we sort of help you to prepare. So we have the Founder's Life. This one is targeted at entrepreneurs who are at the ideation phase or who have built a minimum viable product. So it's a very short, in a very short space of time, you get to pitch your idea to a mixed group of people. There might be investors in the crowd, you never know, but also your fellow entrepreneurs, and then you get feedback. So it's also very useful for you to incorporate that feedback so that you can improve on your idea or business. And then we have seedsters. So this is entrepreneurs from all over the world, and they have access to investors. So this one is for early stage startups. So you have already begun to sell some stuff, you already have some revenue coming in, and then we take you through our local Seedsters event here. So it's in the format of a boot camp. So you get training on branding, really defining your problem, your solution, how you conduct market surveys. It's like an intense program, all the aspects that you need in your business development, they are covered in that boot camp. And then you finally get the chance to pitch before an audience, and then a winner is selected from there who gets to represent Zimbabwe on the regionals as well as the global event. And then for startups that are ready to scale. These are the ones that already have a certain amount of revenue kicking in. So we have a program called Accelerate 2030, and you get the chance to pitch your program, and then it's also like a global program. So the global team will get to go through the applications, and then they choose startups that will go and pitch in Geneva again before like a global pool of investors.
When you believe that you know everything, then you don't know anything. We've heard it from the expert. And another important thing that's concurrent today is the world is Uberizing. What is Uberizing? It's moving with the times in terms of technology, and Ndine Thaza doesn't fall short. We are on all social media platforms. So please follow us and check us out on our Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp, Twitter, you name them. And all our handles is Ndine Thaza, so it's simple to get us. And also, part of our voting will be on Facebook, and you will participate as some of the judges in the voting. A key component for any entrepreneur to get an edge and a fighting chance in business is to know their strengths, weaknesses, opportunities out there, and the threats that are out there. Let us hear from Fortunate what she believes are her strengths and weaknesses, and also the opportunities and threats she's seeing out there.
Our strengths are the good relationship that we have with our customers and our suppliers. And one of the other that we have is we have a unique way of using even our products, like our icing products, which are not found like readily available, such that it gives us a unique selling point where it's not something that's commonly found, and our flavors are not flavors, you know, the basic chocolate vanilla, but you discover we've got cakes that are like ding dong cake. Someone's like, I don't know what that is. So this is the also strength that we have, because we diversify on what we do. And the other thing is the academy that we started. That's a strength to us, because you get to discover it brings a whole lot more of actually revenue, because as much as they see the academy go out there, they actually then in the end are seeing the company. So yeah, this is basically where we find our strengths in our business. And then for like the part where maybe we have a bit of challenge, you discover maybe our brand exposure. We don't have that exposure to reach quite a number of people, and we have a bit of like, you know, limited capacity with regards to that and whom we reach. And though on that part we're actually trying to alleviate it as we go by capitalizing on our social media, capitalizing on our promotions. And then also the other challenge that we have is the domestic equipment that we have. In turn now, as we're growing like this, we actually need industrial equipment. And then the opportunities that are actually there for us is probably a collaboration of certification through the Ministry of Higher and Tertiary Education. We actually have the academy registered, and also production of mixes of our products in such a way that we actually then even get to supply supermarkets, and it's easier for the consumers actually to just get and, you know, quickly make them. So you get to discover what kind of threaten our business is too much competition that's there. You discover now there's so many bakers, so many confectionery shops and supermarkets popping up. So also trying to alleviate this, we've actually started to focus more on our diversity, and we've actually put a price tag, you know, on our customer service, because we believe that's the key area that makes us to grow. And the other thing is, which we recently had a pinch on, Zesa faults, which we discover will disturb our production and also even affect our produce. So we actually have started to save up to get, you know, the gas freezer, the gas stove, to basically help us. And then if I am to get $1,000, I would get myself an industrial mixer. Why the mixer? It actually has more production, and it has endurance, and it also will then increase on our production compared to using these small hand mixers that we normally have.
You heard her strengths, her weaknesses, and what she perceives to be threats and opportunities for her business. What is your SWOT analysis? And of course, when I ask that, you think, but Trinos, I'm not a part of Ndine Thaza. Guess what? It's open to all entrepreneurs, and you stand a chance to be on this show and present your SWOT analysis. You do that by logging onto our website, www.ndinethaza.co.zw, and you click on application. The rest are details. As an entrepreneur, you must figure it out. After the break, we hear from the judges what they feel in terms of Fortunate's articulation on the SWOT analysis. See you after the break. I hope you have some munchies there. Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed some snacks. Today it's special. We do have a food entrepreneur right here with us, Fortunate Pastries and Bakeries. Now, the verdict and the points from the judges. Have they been enticed enough by the cake, pie, and samosa? Judge Luke, the ball is in your court. What's your verdict on this SWOT analysis?
Wow, I have been enticed by the samosas. And I've to be quite honest with me, this is the first time for me to really meet an entrepreneur that actually knows what a SWOT analysis is, what she is talking about. I think for Fortunate, she went right on point to articulate a strength, your weaknesses. There was absolutely nothing that you could actually take from her in terms of her articulation.
And I smell some high marks there. We're anxious now. We can smell the marks. What was the scores?
True. We just don't want to really, just to burst the bubble just a bit, But on the strength, I've given her 40. Wow. On the weakness, I've given her 45. On the opportunities, I've given her 40. And on the threat analysis, I've given her 45. She's really down.
Judges, are we in agreement? I see some nodding and the other judges are, shaking their heads.
Judge Rose. I have to go. I really agree with you. Really, I must put that out there because Luke is the good guy who puts Christianity in front as a disclaimer. But unfortunately, really, she was on point. She really knew what she was talking about. I cannot wait to taste her pastries.
Ooh, and I can't wait to hear marks. What are the scores?
For strength, she talked about the strong relations, the diversity in flavors, the academy that she established. I'll give her 45. I've never given anyone a 45. And on weaknesses, she talked about brand exposure, limited capacity. I'll give her 42. Let me not go into it. On opportunities, she talked about collaboration with the ministry in terms of certification. Fortunately, you did very well. 40 on that. And the threats, too much competition. Who doesn't know? Anyone who has flour in their kitchen will try to bake something.
And that's a threat,
And we've had chimodos for cakes somewhere there. And electricity, I mean, there are lots of power outages. So 45, I don't know, Ram. What do you think?
I think we're singing from the same hymn book, madam.
Okay.
I'm impressed with this lady because firstly, looking at herself, she knows what she's made of. Firstly, she knows her cut in terms of the business profile she wants to follow. I'm actually tempted to, just give you a wholesale mark. But I think let's analyze it for fairness.
Yes.
She's the person who is basically in her discourse mentioned Ndine Thaza as a benefactor. Somebody that says, if I win this prize, this is what I'm going to do with it. I like that.
Wow. And that's a strength. What does that fall into?
I gave on the strength 40 out of 50.
Wow.
And my particular cut on this one is the Ding Dong Cake. She's talking about a unique product with a unique name that makes you anxious to test it.
It gives an edge.
The Ding Dong
Indeed.
Cake. 36 for weaknesses, but I share Rose's observations, brand exposure, limited capacity. And also the fact of domestic equipment versus industrial. She's into business and it's likely to boom and grow. You can't be using your old grandmother's kettle or whatever. You've got to go into the equipment that fits that model.
And how does she score on the other two?
She scores 36 on that one, and on the opportunities, 44 out of 50.
Wow.
I said she cites Ndine Thaza in everything. Registered academy, diversification of products, threats. She recognizes her weaknesses, and I think we share exactly the same points with Rose.
Wow, with one judge left, I wonder if the cake, samosa, and pie can put all the judges together. Simba, are you in agreement with these 40s and 45s?
Very much, very much.
Is that full? Wonderful. Fantastic.
I like the
What are
fact
your
that,
marks?
I like the fact that she spoke about integrity. You know, for you to be in business, there has to be trust. In banking, we call it KYC.
Yes.
And it
KYC?
because she knows what she's doing. Even my customers can actually bail her out.
Exactly.
Wow. So it's know your customer. And how did she score on your sheet?
For her strength, I gave her 45. And then for her weaknesses, I gave her 30. And for her opportunities, I gave her 40. Then the threats, I gave her 30.
My
just to go back.
goodness. My
Why
goodness. Maybe you can wrap up with that one.
I don't know why did you give her 30?
Oh, yes.
Because there's nothing unique about what she's doing.
Okay.
Well, I have to cut the judges there. We've heard the 40s, the 45s. And guess what? This cake, I can also smell it on social media because you now can participate on Facebook. Do you agree with the judges?
Hashtag dig.
Yes, that's our hashtag for those that are on Twitter, our millennials again on Twitter. So go on Facebook because you are also judging and your points are also counting on Facebook. You go on Ndine Thaza and then you go and like her post. Each like counts as a point. My goodness me, I am now convinced that cake, pie, and samosa will take you all the way. 637 points for cake, samosa, and pie. This is the verdict of the judges. This is what they feel. Can you smell those samosas on our social media? Indeed you can. You can participate and we're waiting for your votes. Vote via our Facebook platform. Get onto our Facebook page, Ndine Thaza. Go onto the post for Fortunate and click like. Your like counts as a vote and your votes will come in until Friday night, midnight, before the day of the show. What a supernova show. The marks and the tallies keep going up and down, and today they shot into the atmosphere. We made Fortunate, she's top of our chart. What more can we expect up to entrepreneur number 10? Your guess is as good as mine. And from the juggernaut, once you build momentum, always remember, no object can stop you. From the juggernaut, I'm out.
As we adjust with what's happening, we maximize on. Someone is taking what's that called? Try and screenshot.